Hi, welcome back to Yoga with Julie. We've got another little balance practice for you today. So let's start in our mountain pose. We've got our feet under our hips, a little softness in the knees, and the joints are stacked up on top of each other. You can notice where your middle fingers are touching. So is it at the side seams, a little forward, a little back? Just notice that. Don't change it. Just see. And then we're going to start to inhale to get tall. And then on the exhale, we're going to draw that belly in. Let the back round behind you. Notice how the arms are coming forwards, kind of like a rag doll or a marionette that is in rest position. And then on an inhale, standing up nice and tall again. Good. So let's do that again. Exhale to draw the belly in. Let the arms come forward. You can even start to rotate them from the shoulder a little bit so the backs of the hands are facing your body. And see how my chin is forward. So I'm looking at you, not down at the floor. That's what I'd like you to do, if you could, please. Okay. So feel that back lengthening. Feel your chest getting closer to your belly button. And then we're going to inhale to open that up, unwind the arms. Take a breath here. And let's do that one more time. So exhaling, rounding the back, arms rotate. And you can even let your knees start to come a little bit towards each other. So you'll notice then that your weight is more on the insides of your feet. And this might feel like, what is she doing? This is really strange. And then we're going to inhale to come back up to our mountain pose again. And just take a little notice. Where are my middle fingers now? Are they in the same place or somewhere a little bit different? And then we're going to go the opposite way. So it's possible to arch the back. People do it all the time, walk around that way. So we're going to do a little arch of the back intentionally. I don't want you to go into anything that feels painful. Just a little arch and you'll feel like your chin wants to come a little closer to your chest. Let that happen. Maybe the arms want to rotate away from your torso. Feel the shoulder blades squeezing together. And then we're going to melt all of that out back to our mountain. Let's do that again. Arching the low back. Let that belly fill. We don't give ourselves permission to just let it be full very often. Chin close to chest, arms rotating outwards, and then slowly, smoothly, easily decreate that arch. And you might find that you have the tendency to go for the gold. And so you really kind of overarch that back that time, and it feels just like it might tweak. So I'm going to encourage you when we do this again to keep it really small, that back arch, or simply imagine that you're arching the back. Okay, so here we go. Either a real or an imaginary arch. Keep it small. Don't be the person seeking the gold stars because I don't have any for you today. Feel how open the chest is and the length of the front of the torso. And then we're going to melt that all back, all the way back to our mountain pose again. Did you feel the shift of weight on your feet? Did you feel like it was forward in the arch, and then when we let the go of the arch, it came back to being more centered on the feet? All right. Notice where your fingertips are touching. Has something changed? Interesting, right? Okay, now let's bring attention to one heel. We're going to lift one heel and then lower down. Lift that same heel again and put more weight into the other foot. And maybe the toes are coming up off the floor. Whoa, balance challenge. And then lower it down. So it doesn't have to be a big, huge lift. The knee does not have to be parallel to the floor, but it might be. Let's do that again. So lift the heel. Start with just a heel lift. Let the weight shift. And then mindfully see if your toes want to disconnect from the floor. And then lower that down. Good. Weight is centered again. Now let's try it with the other foot. So just the heel first. It's like it's being peeled up off the floor. And then we take a little pause and then see if the toes want to lift up too. The weight has to shift into the other foot to accommodate that. And then we're going to lower it back down again. I know it feels like we're going super slow because we're doing this somatically and we're noticing all the little connotations. Let's do that again. So lifting one heel, peeling it up off the floor. And then seeing if the toes also want to lift. While you're here, notice, you can see it because I've got a black top on. This side is shortened, this side is longer. It's like a little bit of a hip hiker. Let's see if I can, what happens when I lower that hip back down. Oh, my foot gets closer to the floor. When I lift that hip back up, my foot comes away from the floor and I've got shortening here. We're learning how the body works, right? So interesting. Okay, come back to your mountain pose again. And we're going to do a little alternating. We don't have to go quite as slow this time. You've got your wall or your furniture close by. So let's alternately lift one and then the other. And then this time we're going to stay with the toes either barely touching or up off the floor. And you can choose an arm shape. It might be nice and wide. You could have one hand on the wall or a piece of furniture. You might even bring your arms into a cactus shape. You might sense there's a little bit of wobbling happening. And then we're going to exhale to lower down and go right to the other foot, lifting the heel, finding the arm position. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Can the breath be smooth and easeful? And then lower back down again. Nice and slow, mindfully. Feel the toes touch the floor and then the ball of the foot and then the heel. Stand up in your mountain pose. Notice where your fingers are touching. Is it the side seam? Is it a little forward, a little back? What's changed? How do you feel? Palms together. Thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste.